You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. At Fidelity, you'll always get a great value for your options trades. And with powerful investing tools that provide clear next steps, plus independent research and a wide range of investment types, we can help you make better trading decisions. Learn more about options trading with Fidelity at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Good morning. Today is November 6th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Tuesday. First thing to know is our U.S. midterm elections. Control of both houses of the U.S. Congress currently remain dominated by Republicans, and 36 governor's offices will be at stake when Americans vote in Tuesday's midterm elections. Opinion polls and nonpartisan forecasters generally show Democrats with a strong chance of regaining control of the House of Representatives, while President Donald Trump's Republican Party is forecast to hold onto a slim majority in the Senate. This outcome is largely seen as positive for markets, since historically U.S. stocks have posted solid gains during government gridlock. If the Republicans retain their House majority, global stocks are likely to rally on hopes of more tax cuts. Meanwhile, a so-called Democrat sweep could pressure markets, as it could lead to a reversal of some of the Trump administration's pro-growth policies. Preliminary results should start coming in during U.S. evening hours, while the wait for a conclusive result could stretch into early morning hours on Wednesday. The second thing to know today is before the open, U.S. futures pointed to a lower open. U.S. stock futures were pointing to a lower open on Wall Street as investors remain cautious ahead of U.S. congressional midterm elections later in the day. The third thing to know today is there's another batch of earnings. Dozens of companies are expected to release earnings today in one of the last big waves of the third quarter earnings season. Ahead of the opening bell, results are due from CVS, Eli Lilly, Ralph Lauren, Archer Daniels Midland, Thomson Reuters, and Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Etsy, Twilio, Match Group, Papa John's, Planet Fitness, Wendy's, and Turtle Beach all report after the market close. The fourth thing to know today is the dollar ticks higher in a tight range. The dollar index ticked up 0.1% to 96.22. The index traded in a relatively tight range between 96.02 and 96.26. On the data front, the economic calendar will bring investors the latest JOLTS report, which is expected to show job openings in September remain near record high. Currency traders also awaited the Federal Reserve meeting due to begin on Wednesday to gauge the outlook for U.S. monetary policy. While the Fed is not expected to raise interest rates this week, it's likely to signal that it remains on track to do so in December. And the fifth thing to know today is oil prices declined ahead of API report. Oil prices traded near their lowest level in almost 7 months, ahead of the release of fresh weekly data on U.S. commercial crude inventories. The American Petroleum Institute is due to release its weekly report for the week ended November 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, amid expectations of an increase of about 2 million barrels. It confirmed it would be the 7th straight weekly climb in domestic crude supplies. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures were down 22 cents or roughly 0.3% at $62.87 a barrel, after hitting $62.52 on Monday, its lowest since April. International Brent crude futures fell 34 cents or 0.4% to $72.83 a barrel, near Friday's 2.5-month low, $72.16. Our second story today is from Investing.com. In stocks, Wall Street rises after upbeat earnings. Wall Street opened higher on Tuesday as upbeat earnings helped rally markets ahead of the U.S. midterm elections. The S&P 500 rose 8 points, or 0.32%, to 2747.20 as of 9:41 a.m. Eastern Time, while the Dow increased 51 points, or 0.2%, 25,513.11. And the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite was up 51 points, or 0.71%, at 7,380.66. Our final story today comes by way of Investing.com as well. EU digital tax plan flounders as states ready national moves. A European Union plan to tax big internet firms like Google and Facebook on their turnover was on the verge of collapsing on Tuesday after several EU governments rejected it and announced national initiatives instead. Under a proposal from the EU's Executive Commission in March, EU states would charge a 3% levy on the digital revenues of large tech firms that are accused of averting tax by routing their profits to the bloc's low tax states. The plan is aimed at changing tax rules that have let some of the world's biggest companies pay unusually low rates of corporate tax on their earnings. But it requires the support of all 28 EU states and is opposed by a number of them, including small low-tax countries like Ireland that have benefited by allowing multinationals to book profits there on digital sales to customers elsewhere. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, Tuesday, November 6th, 2018. Your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Trade smart and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.